It's Lynda Lippin again, and for this second video I thought I would talk a little bit more about the neck and shoulders. Once you've achieved a semblance of pelvic stability, i.e. you can keep your back pretty steady as you're moving your legs, then we need to look at shoulder stability and shoulder mobility. For most people I know, the neck and the shoulders are the tightest part of the back. In reality, they should be the most mobile parts of the spine, with the lower back being the most stable. So once the lower back starts to stabilize, you're actually going to have a chance of getting your upper body to loosen up a little. Seriously, as long as your lower back's moving all over the place, your upper back is going to stay tight because your body feels like it has to hold on somewhere. And we spread the work to basically whoever's going to do it, just like any work group amongst human beings. So, you start to stabilize that lower back, you get some abdominal and back strength, and suddenly your neck and shoulder tension can become really, really apparent. First thing to think about is breathing. The more movement you can get up into the rib cage as you're breathing, the better. Your ribs are all attached to your spine in the back. Your rib cage runs basically from your collarbones, which are resting on the first two ribs, all the way down to your waistline where the floating ribs are, so it's most of your torso. The ribs are jointed to move in the back. They have some muscle connecting them that can actually lengthen and shorten. One of the primary functions of the obliques and the abdominal muscles is to assist the ribs moving as we breathe. And your lungs live under your rib cage. So although belly breathing can be a nice way of working on getting the diaphragm to move, you need to fill your lungs, which exist under your ribs. So deep breaths in and out to start with are just a really good way to work on starting to get the back body and the side of the rib cage to move and to really feel like you can get air from your belly all the way up to your chest. So if you're lying on your back, number one, I suggest as soon as you get on your back doing a few tilts and arches, just like we did in the first video, to find center. Once you've found center, start to breathe. You can breathe from the waistline to the neck. So first I'm going to show you how most people breathe. It's either here or here. And what I want you to start to think about is maybe a little expansion in those areas, but more so as I'm breathing, my ribs are actually expanding. I feel them pushing into the floor. They're pushing out towards my armpits. My chest lifts a little bit. And as I exhale, I feel everything pull back down and in towards my waistline as my abdominal muscles pull in. So think of breathing as really a primary abdominal exercise. Now once you're breathing and the ribs start to loosen up even a teeny bit, the next thing that I'm going to have you do is lift your arms straight up to the ceiling. And then from this position, I want you to try to not move your rib cage. So again, you're not going to move your lower back. And you're just going to lift your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling as high as they'll go. So if you want to grab something from there, tightening your chest and your collarbones, and then you're going to drop those shoulder blades down and you're going to squeeze them together in your back as if you wanted to crack a walnut between those blades. And you're going to do that a few times. Now notice as I'm doing this, it's not a whole mid-back extravaganza. So I'm not tucking and lifting. I'm trying to keep it out of my spine. I'm trying to just get these shoulder bones to move. These bones of your shoulder are not attached to your rib cage skeletally. They can move freely. Up and down. And then try to find a middle position for the shoulder blades. Then start to open your arms out to the side, really reaching through your fingers, and just get a little stretch in your chest and bring your arms back up. And just do that a few times. Just trying to stay open, really breathe into the upper chest wall and the shoulders. and come back up. Then you're going to turn your palms forward and you're going to play with holding those ribs steady as the arms go back overhead. And this is probably one of the most difficult positions to do. What we tend to do, because we all tend to be tighter in the front of the chest and the shoulder from working on computers, reading, typing, dishes, whatever, is what we tend to do is this. And we let the whole rib go with the arms. And what I want you to try to do is hold your spine where it is, which is a fair amount of work in the abdominals and the back muscles, mind you, and get some stretch in your shoulders. So even for me, because I've been teaching today, I'm a little tight, my arms might get to here. If I let my arms go further, look at what happens in my rib cage. It's not a huge lift and I can hide it well, but it's there. So it's better for me to be here, where I'm getting the stretch in the shoulders. And I'm going to come back up. Now to this I can add big circles. I can go back and forth. I could do one at a time. I mean, really, you can kind of be creative and play here, but the issue is the same. We're just getting the arms to move and getting the spine to stay steady. In terms of your neck, for the moment, I don't even want you to worry about it. All I want you to worry about is just getting that spine to stay relatively stable, ribs and hips. If they're in the right position, chances are your head's going to be a little bit better able to stay in a decent position. And just get the shoulder girdle moving. Once you get a little more stability here and here, then we can really talk about how to freely move your neck. So, I hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. You can visit me on the web at www.lindalippin.com. And I am not a medical professional. I am an exercise and fitness professional. So if you have not been cleared by your physician to exercise and you're having severe back, neck, or shoulder pain, I highly recommend seeing your physician before starting any exercise program. Thanks and have a great day.